Good afternoon, folks. This is Armand Pantalone. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Giga-tronics, and we're going to start a series of TEmS talks. You guys have heard of TED talks. Well, this is going to be a series of TEmS talks. TEmS being our threat emulation system. The Giga-tronics threat emulation system is a very sophisticated multi-mode threat emulator to stimulate electronic warfare systems for design development and also verification and validation, both in the laboratory and also for open air range applications. And we'll describe that in a series of talks, short talks on specific topics later. Today, in the background, we're going to describe some of the features of the threat emulation system. And with it already running in the background, one of the very first things we'll be highlighting in some of our talks is the ability to have multiple platforms, multiple emitters in a scenario, to execute it, run it in real time, and to see the pulse density from all the different emitters on all the different platforms, all running at the same time with completely different pulse characteristics, waveform characteristics, radar mode characteristics. And we'll also describe later too how this entire simulated battle space can also be augmented with background electromagnetic noise and other information like cell towers and TV and radio towers as well, to give a really realistic environment to test against. In this scenario, one of the things we want to show you is that of the receivers in the scenario, we've designated one of them as a system under test. And it just happens to be this Platform 9, which is an airborne asset flying through the canyon against these adversary aircraft lining both edges of the canyon, plus the guy sitting in the valley there. Two others flying airborne racetracks, and then a standoff jammer flying airborne racetrack. We've highlighted the system under test receiver. He's going to be flying through. As soon as we execute the scenario, you should look at the PDWs, the pulse descriptor words. The runtime statistics chart over here shows you all the emitters and all the pulse descriptor words generated, dropped either from collisions or threshold detections. And then also, we're going to show you the pulse density of the IF pulses before the RF up converter. So we'll execute the scenario now. We'll show you the runtime stats and all the pulse descriptor words. We'll show you the pulse density on the digital oscilloscope on the IF pulses before the RF up converter, and we'll show you the dynamics of this scenario. So our platform's starting his trajectory into the engagement area. You can see all the emitters in the scenario, the ones that are generating RF. You can see the ones that are generated, ones that are dropped, whether again is for time collision thresholds, sorry. And then also the two-channel system that we have for the demonstration right here, right now. We have the digital oscilloscope. It also has a spectrum analyzer feature and just shows you of the two available RF channels. This system is only a two-channel demo unit. We also sell it in 4- and 8-channel systems. The two-channel demo pulse density you can obviously see on the screen. The system is designed to utilize any of the number of RF channels available. In this particular mode, they always try to put as many pulses in the first channel as possible, and then the remainders in the second, and then the remainders from there, based on time pulse collisions, into the third and fourth RF channel. And in a open air range scenario or usage case, we actually have a set of software where we're allowed to selectively pick and force emitters to certain RF channels for open air range applications instead of cabled lab operation. And there's obviously a lot more detail to describe. We'll save that for future installments of TEmS talks with Giga-tronics. And just to sign off, we'll say thanks for coming. There's your pulse density. There's your scenario after it's been running for a little bit. He's going right into the kill zone right now. So, as friendly advice and a word of caution, we are what you would call professionals, so please don't try this at home.